1, 2, 3.
The eavesdrop.
I can't understand this. Go away. Can you hear us? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the eavesdrop. You lot are so annoying.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
No, we're keeping that in.
I actually don't know why I done that.
You lot are so annoying. Okay, so my name is Layefa, and this is the Sisters episode.
Hey everyone.
You need to introduce yourself.
I'm Izzo, aka Izzo.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I got my Prosecco. Where's your Prosecco?
My Prosecco be over here, girl.
Yeah, I'm drinking my Prosecco because... Is it fin?
I was going to style it out and put some water in it. No. Timmy just baited up the whole thing.
That is rude. So basically, I didn't know that Izzo's finished her Prosecco,
I finished my Prosecco because I'm a drinker. So I'm on the water now.
And I'm here like still trying to catch up with her, and I'm twisted. I'm very much twisted. Timmy's in the background, and Timmy's like, hers is finished. His own was gonna style it out. So
really was.
If you're not watching, if you're listening, we're also on YouTube. So Timmy was gonna style it out and be like, no, I'm mixing all of you. Like,
I was going to style it out and be like, yeah, I got my little Prosecco here, but Timmy's going to bait it up the thing.
I've been drinking too much. I don't even know anybody's name anymore. I'm all over the gap.
Yeah, we've been drinking tonight. It's been lit.
Can I just talk about how you making me want to wear a wig?
Do you know what?
Yeah. I'm obsessed with...
Do you know what? I really would love to rock a curly wig. I just haven't seen a wig supplier of a curly wig yet. Yeah. Just yet that I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm in love with that wig.
Really?
Not yet. I'm still on the prowl though.
Because I think this is, I generally don't have my hair this afro-y because my hair's dry and this is like an emergency hairstyle.
But can I just say, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually real. Like this volume of afro is what people buy in a wig. And you have it for real. So, girl, you need to just chill with your own real hair.
Oh my God, because I'm feeling like it's really weird because like I'm really trying to be like on this whole like self-love and love what I look like vibe.
This is self-love, but this is also self-love.
No, it is self-love, but I'm looking at your hair and I'm like, I haven't done a straight wig in forever. Timmy has been stressing me out with like, I need to get a straight wig, and like seeing your hair all looking all... Not kinky straight. She wants me to get. They're gonna kill me.
Do you know what? Them kinky straight ones. You've got to keep it prop. You need to go like hairdressers to like have that proper straight, or it don't look right.
What the thing is, I don't mind the foofy, the puffy look. Like it's kind of like.
You either have a straight afro, or you have a curly, or you got a straight.
No. It's giving me scissor vibes, innit?
Oh yeah. I feel you.
Yeah, guys, get with the program.
But then she has it proper long, but with a little bit of a kinky curl here and there.
True that. And she's
like bohemian-y kind of. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love that bohemian look.
I need to get with that.
Free spirited.
Yeah, I need to get with that. But I'm loving this though. How many inches is this, baby girl?
This is 20. I mean, this is all right. This was like my birthday hair.
Skein.
But I mean, the best of the best is still to come. Like, I'm still looking for like an amazing supplier. But do you know what it is? Yeah, it's not even the hair for me. It's who can lay it. Like, you need to get a layer.
Do you have somebody? Do you go to somebody?
Unfortunately,
you do it yourself.
And I do it myself. But I need to go to someone when it's like my birthday or like a special occasion. I'll go to people. But
no, my bank account ain't
me sitting at home.
Like I don't have disposable income. I got 3 kids.
I hear you. Even me, it's a waste for me as well. It's for special occasions only to slay the wig.
Look,
you can do it yourself. Then
look. I want us to chat all the things today, man. Yeah. So like we were talking about, we've got similar life experiences. So we've both had the opportunity to live by us. So like after moving out of our parents' house, right? We then lived by ourselves, and then we lived with our partners. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to touch on that because I know for me, I can tell you much. So basically, for me,
the same one that baited me out is the same one that
can
is
you
trying
keep
to
quiet over
interrupt the topic
for goodness sake
of the evening.
You're so annoying. I was trying to do behind the scenes. Yeah, do behind the scenes quietly. For goodness sake. So Timmy was recording us and then she captured it and then she started playing on her phone. So you may have heard that. So basically, for me, I don't mind getting a little bit personal. Like, so when you're at uni, you feel like you're living independently, right?
Yeah. But you're still house sharing. So you still are amongst people and you seem to think like, oh my gosh, like I'm independent. I've got my own little bedroom to myself. Like this is proper adult life. I mean, I started off in halls. Did you start off in halls? That was, I remember the first day of moving into halls actually. My mum and dad took me to university, dropped me off. And I'm not usually quiet, but that day I was really quiet.
Why?
I think, well, it was a change. Like I was so excited to move into halls. Yeah. Like, I'm going to be independent. I'm not having to sleep at mum and dad's house. Yeah. I'm 18.
Ooh, yeah.
Turning 19 soon. I'm about to live life. But I was hella nervous. I was like, wow, this is a big step. Like, it really knocked me for six when we got there.
Really?
Yeah. I remember getting in the lift with my mum and dad and there was like a random person in the lift. And I thought, oh my gosh, like my parents are actually coming to drop me off.
Wow.
What about you?
So I remember like I had the same experience, mum and dad. Yeah. But I wanted them to go. Like I was so excited. It was like a dream come true. Yeah. I couldn't believe that I had got
Yeah.
Like it sounds so weird. I couldn't believe that I'm actually out.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Like, oh my gosh, I'm actually, they're letting me out. And this is like, you mean I'm not gonna, so it was a dream come true. And for me, it was like, they wouldn't go. Like I felt like everybody in my halls, like their parents just dropped them off and left.
Yeah.
And they were still there, like jamming. My mum was helping me put the pots away.
Yeah.
And plates and this and Layefa, you can do this like this. And Layefa, and I was just like, go. I was so excited.
Do you know what? I can relate. I think that happened to me. I just have blocked that bit out because that ruined the fun of the day.
Oh my god!
Of moving in. I think that happened
like,
to me.
I was like, when are you gonna leave? They were. I was like, I swear they stayed there till night.
Oh no, like, no. That is too much.
I was like, go away.
That is too much. An hour tops.
Nah, they weren't leaving. I was just thinking like wagwan, and I don't know if it's because like I'm the first, so
for real,
it's like a attachment issues with the mother or something.
Did your parents do like a little ritual, or a little like prayer, or a little pour a drink or anything?
You know what?
Like, make sure you stay safe in this foreign land.
Do you know what? They probably, I can't remember. They may have, but I can't remember. Because it sounds very typical. Did you?
I can't really remember. They might have done like a little prayer, but I remember they done like my dad. Yeah. When I moved into my actual flat, this is like later in life.
Yeah.
He done like a proper like little mini ritual.
What, like poured it for the gods?
Yeah.
For the gods.
For the gods.
For the ancestors. For the ancestors.
Yeah, a bottle of gin and poured it for the ancestors in every room. Yeah, little speech.
Yeah, man. We got to acknowledge the ancestors. Yeah, man.
I remember that.
Yeah, no, they didn't do that at uni.
No. No, I don't think they did.
Wow. So uni was great.
Yeah.
Loved that. Well, actually, was it great? It was that's a whole, that could be a whole nother topic.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? So then what happened with me? So this kind of bit of background story. I ended up moving back home, but so this is going to sound, okay, it might sound relatable to some people. So what happened is when I was 17, I put my name on the council housing list. When I was 17, and like, by that time, like the house is full, but it's not too full. But I said it was overcrowded, that I needed to move out. Yeah. And I probably wasn't eligible for housing because we had a big enough house. But all of my friends were doing it. Like literally all of my friends were putting their, like, because they lived in council houses. So I just thought, oh, let me do it as well. Do you know what I mean? So I put my name on the list and thought nothing of it. So by the time I finished uni, I actually got a call from the council saying that they have a property for me to view.
Sick.
And this was literally as I'm moving back home. So I've been offered a property and I'm moving back home. So this is perfect. So straight from uni, I don't actually need to move back home. I can move back into my own apartment, my own flat. And it was a studio flat because I think I wanted a 1-bedroom house or flat, but it was really hard. So it was a studio and I was like, oh yeah. So I got the studio and then mum was like, my mum wasn't really like, she was very, I don't know, she was very attached to me. So she wasn't really, yeah. So finally let me go. And I lived by myself. And I loved, like, I did.
That's when life began.
That's when life began because, first of all, it was city girl life. But so basically, I lived by myself and I had a car, but bills I couldn't comprehend bills. Like, let's talk about that for a minute.
You were 17.
Like by the time
fresh out of uni.
Yeah, so like, no, uni. How old are you? When you finish uni, 21, 22.
Yeah, but early 20s.
Yeah, so like I couldn't comprehend bills. So I've got like, not only is there like rent to pay, there's council tax. Like that, I couldn't, mine was boggling. And then like just the basic bills. And then I had a car because my final year of uni, I used to semi-commute. So I had a car. My car got clamped. My car got clamped because I couldn't, like, I wasn't paying my road.
That's when we were just none the wiser, boy.
Oh my gosh, like, I couldn't comprehend. Like, you have car insurance, you've got road tax, you've got, general petrol, whatever. Yeah. So I don't know if it was either road tax or a car or a ticket, like a parking ticket. I can't remember what it was, but basically, how bailiffs come, they clamp your car. Yeah. And I have to prioritize, like, it's either rescue my car or pay rent.
The car gotta go.
The car went, babes. The car said goodbye.
Oh, that's how Jeremy went.
So my first car's name was Jeremy.
But can you imagine the freedom, though? You finish uni, come back to London, and you got a whip and a flat. Like,
look.
What?
Look, I remember
that is elite for an early 20-something.
I remember I had this guy that I was seeing. Like, we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend proper, but I remember he paid one of my car bills. Either it was like my car insurance or my road tax or something. I was like, I am such how would I be getting a whole guy to just pay my things like that? Like, he paid something for me. But anyway, my car got taken off me. And I was still just, man. But but the funny thing is, cooking wasn't really a thing them days.
Because you could just go to your mum's to get food, right?
In a container.
Yeah.
Talk the things.
Yeah, girl. So after uni for me, I moved back home.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So moving back home was fine. Like, it was only my mum, my brother, and me and my brother. So we've had quite a bit. So I felt all right being at home, to be honest. I was at home for a few years. My parents helped me with a deposit and I was able to get a 1-bedroom flat. So I moved out around about 26-ish, I think.
That's decent, you know.
Think, yeah.
So you spent a good few years at home.
Yeah, I did. So because I'd done 4 years at uni because I'd done a placement year. I think
sandwich course, innit?
A sandwich, yeah. So I graduated around about 22. So I was at home for about 4 years. Had a job in a local bar, which was... Those were good times.
You were getting wasted.
Those were really good times, and it was a walking distance from my house.
Oh shit! So, you were legless.
Yeah, that was a good time.
You were mash up.
That was a good time. I got a car as well. Like, when I came home from uni, passed my driving test.
When did you pass? At uni or after uni?
after. I kept on failing. I'm not gonna lie.
How many times? Wait. Let's
I can't disclose how many times because it's actually quite embarrassing.
No. This might give people.
No, not for the podcast. It's too much. I passed, and that's the main thing, guys.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about the past.
Exactly. Okay, chat the thing.
Yes, I had got a car, like a proper legit car. Yeah. Around about 21, 22. So at least I had my independence with the car. But I was still at home, but home was cool anyway. Like my mom was proper chilled. Had my job around the corner at the bar and just was living like those were like good days.
Yeah, carry on.
And I got my job in the bank.
Yeah, big girl things.
And then was there a few years doing big girl things. And then my parents was able to help me with a deposit. And then I got myself 1-bedroom place. I've been there ever since, and it was one of the best.
Can we talk about that, like that when you were at your parents to moving in by yourself? Let's talk about that experience for a minute. Like, what was that like?
Yeah, sure. So I mean, it was the best thing ever. So I was probably out of my friendship group. I was probably so all my so a lot of my maybe like white girlfriends had done like flat shares or had moved in with like partners and whatnot. And then a lot of my like black girlfriends, I don't know why I've separated it with white and black, but it's just an experience.
A bit more multicultural.
Very multicultural. A lot of them was still at home. I had 1 or 2 friends that had like moved out, got their own places. So I guess amongst my like really close friends, I was one of the first to move out on my own completely. So it was me and another girl. She had done it a few years before me. So I was one of the first. So it was really exciting for me. It was like a joint thing because it was like I weren't just moving out. It was like all me and my friends was moving out. We had this like base that like there was no parents, no nothing, single, like amazing. So it was really nice. It was so it was a 1-bedroom flat, like sort of new build, like around that time.
Nice, really. Can I just say, really, really nice flat. Really, like it's better than Sex and the City vibes.
Oh, do you know what? If it had a balcony, it would be amazing. Like Sex and the City.
It's better than because sometimes I've seen people move out and I'm like, this is giving me Sex and the City vibes, which is cute. Like Sex and the City vibes is cute. Like Jessica had a cute thing, but yours was better than Sex and the City vibes.
Oh, but I don't have a balcony though. If I had a balcony, that would have been my Sex and the City. I mean, it was good. I'm still grateful for what I got, what the Lord blessed me with. Like, don't get me wrong. But the whole experience of moving out from mum's into my own place was just wonderful. So I remember the day that I got the keys, which was really emotional for my dad more than me.
Was he crying?
My dad shed a tear, like it was actually.
That's
big
funny.
Things. It was like, oh my god.
What are you crying for?
Yeah,
grown man.
But I guess it was emotional. I don't know. But the day I moved in, my dad done a little prayer. Well, so my mum and dad was there with me, so no one else. Dad done a little prayer, little ritual, whatnot, traditionally, and the first thing my mum said is that you need a bed and a fridge. So those were the two first things that I had purchased. My friends were amazing that time. The day that I moved in, I had 3 cars. So my friends came down. One of my friends had got like a people carrier. Oh. So she had a people carrier, had my car, and I had another friend that had another car. So bunged in all my stuff
on the day you moved
I moved in. This is how
you got good friends.
I do.
You got friends, man. I don't know why you're even chatting. You got friends.
They have been good to me. They really have. They really helped me. Moved me in. I'm not creative in any way, and they were able to put things up, place things here, place it that, buy things and saying like this would be nice because at that time. I was like the first one to do it, and it was like everyone's project. You know what I mean? It was a win for everyone rather than just me. It was a nice feeling. Yeah, even though I was like, For me, I moved nearer to my friends and nearer to like my gran and my aunties, but I still have never lived in the ends with my friends. I've always been the one that lived like on the outskirts. But for me, I was like, yeah, I live near you. Like, I'm now in the ends, and they were like, nah, B, like you're still far away, but it's all right. I appreciate.
Oh.
So yeah, that was my experience. So moving from my mom, it was all right, you know. Like I think, because we had been to university, you already had the feeling of living independent, and I was just itching to get back my independence of living by myself. I was already quite independent at home anyway. Like, my mom was quite chill, so I always had friends coming in and out. Me and my brother's bedrooms was like on the top floor, so it was away from my mum, so we always had still like a separation. But it was still... It was a hard transition, but it wasn't as hard. That transition was easier than living with a life partner.
Look. You're actually saying something, because that is a lot easier than living with a... Say it louder for the people at the back.
Yeah, that transition from parents to living on my own was easier than the transition from living on your own to living with your life partner.
Talk the things.
So, gosh, I'm telling all my business.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go.
Right.
You go.
So, like,
let me get direction from you on how much to spill.
So I remember, so keep in mind, I lived in a studio flat. And I had to be very creative in terms of, because it's a small space, I had to be very creative with designing the space and making the bedroom area seem different from the living room area. So I had like a shelving unit. You've been there, remember?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you're shame on you.
I know.
I lived on like almost the top floor. It was like a tent, you know, one of those like tower blocks, those high rises that are like, this had like maybe 10 or 11 floors, and I lived on the 9th floor, right? So
vaguely.
I had like a shelving unit that kind of separated my bedroom area to my living room space. I just had like a 3-seater sofa and the TV, and I had a balcony, which was great. And so I think the balcony kind of extended the space as well. So when you live by yourself, it's really weird. It's just you. You could do what you like. But so when Mr. Man moved in, so how that came about is just that it made sense for him to move in with me rather than me moving in with him, because he was renting privately. A bit of a backstory. His flat burnt down. His flat was on the news. He used to live in like South London, and his flat kind of burnt down. So it was like, like, this is mad, because we were seeing his flat burnt down. And so he had all this, and I was like, no, you might as well just move in with me. So he moved in, and he didn't have a lot of stuff, so that wasn't an issue. But it was him. He was just always, I just felt like he would just be like, so what you doing? What you being? What you doing? Like, he was just like, I just felt like he was in my face. Like, what you doing? What you up to? What you thinking about? Can I see you? Like, I'm like, so what? I was thinking, like, I need to breathe. I remember, this is when me time became a thing. Yeah. Because I remember going into the bathroom and I would hide. Lock the door, and I felt like I couldn't see him, but I felt like he would be...
He's outside the door going...
Literally, just be outside the door going, what are you doing? What are you thinking about? What are you being? Literally, I just felt like he was on my neck. Like, what are you thinking about? I just felt like... And I was just like... I was thinking, I just need some space. Yeah. I just need to think. I just need space to think. And the thing is, like you, I had... I was very, I feel like I was a little bit spoiled. Like, I had a lot of things gifted to me. I didn't have friends give me stuff, but I had a lot of things gifted to me. Like, my grandfather gave me a sofa, the bed, I don't know, maybe the bed somebody bought for me. And the fridge. Like I had somebody lay carpet, like pay for the carpeting. So I was a little bit spoilt. So when Mr. Man moved in, I didn't have a cooker. I had one of those portable cookers. I had a fridge, but not a cooker. So this shows my lifestyle. This shows that I'm not about that cooking life. Because I don't even, that was not a priority for me. I did not have a cooker. I had a washing machine, but not a cooker. So like I remember one of the big things that he bought a cooker, and I felt like it's a great thing to buy, but I felt a little bit like, what are you trying to say? Like, so what, I'm going to be cooking for you now? Like, that's how I took it. An argument didn't come of it, but that's how I took it. And then he bought this massive, like I had a tiny flat screen TV, and he bought this massive TV for his ego maybe. And I always felt like he was just in my face. I just wanted to breathe. And I felt like even if it was a 1-bedroom flat or a 2-bedroom flat, because it was my space and sharing that space with somebody else. And then like I had a very small wardrobe, and then having to make space for him. Like
the wardrobe space.
Oh my, like having to make space for him for the wardrobe, and like just clothes being and then like just no. I swear sometimes I just didn't come home. I swear sometimes I might just go to my grandma's house or something, because he was just it took a lot of getting used to. And then also the adjustment of like I found that, are men colorblind?
Why did you say that?
No, because I'm like, I swear he would just pick up my toothbrush and and brush it. These are things that used to irritate. I'm like, can you not? This is not your toothbrush. Mine is pink and yours is blue.
I always try to make sure that there's a pink and blue toothbrush all the time.
But they still picking up the wrong like things like that. So I'm like, like things like that used to upset me. And and like also. Okay, I'm going to get really personal. Like also getting used to the idea of like when you're sharing a bed with somebody and like I used to do commando all the time. Like commando is a necessary act for women. Like you need to let the pum pum breathe. Yeah. But when you do commando and you're sleeping with a man, they think that's an invitation. I just want to sleep and I want my pum pum to breathe. So like having to adjust to, oh no, I have to now wear clothes to bed. That was a lot for me. Like I was like, no, this is.
It's a lot. It's a lot sharing your space. Like, not that you have to change, but just certain things and
chat the things.
Well, so my experience, although similar, before Mr. Man and I started living together. Although I was living on my own, truth be told, like, I'll just be lying to you guys if I told you that I was at the flat all the time. I was at my mum's all the time. I literally would stay maybe 2 nights a week at the flat at most, and the rest of the time I'll be at my mum's, because where I used to work, it's the same organisation, but where I was based, it was nearer to my mum's. So I used to just be there. Plus my mum cooked, food and company. So I was at my mum's all the time. I only started living at my place permanently when my partner came, to be honest. I spent like a good 3.5 years living on my own, but living at my mum's.
You know what?
To be honest
you just made me remember, because I remember there was a long period of time where, because like my workplace was like, I had to get through in order to get from my workplace to my home, I would go through my grandma's house.
So it's easy to stay.
So I would stay at my grandma's house because I would spend a lot of time. And I remember that was like a big bonding time for us, because my grandma and I were not like close like that, but I would get from her house, I was always going through her house to get home, so I'd spend hours there, end up eating there, sometimes not even go home, or I'd go home really late and then I'd repeat the same thing. So I think it's a similar thing. Like I was actually hardly home. I was at grandma's house, just always there.
And it's a bit of company, and like
you're lonely. You don't even know it.
You don't know that you're lonely. And I appreciate the space, but No, do you know what? You appreciate going home more because you know you've got your own space to go back to. So that was for me. Like, I was happy staying at my mum's for days and days, but I knew that I had my own space to go back to. So even if it'll be like a Friday night, I'll call someone to come over or something, or even just chill on my own. But fast forward 3.5 years later to living in the flat. So although you and your partner decided between you both had places, but he decided to come and stay with you. Mine was a little bit different. So my husband was lived abroad, and he was coming over to live in the UK with me. So where else was he living but in my place? You know what I mean? Like, no brainer.
Yeah.
So he came over. And so in my situation, I had sort of weeks to prepare for him coming over. So I had maybe a little bit of time to mentally get to grips with the fact that this space that I've had for the past 3.5 years is now going to be with 2 people. So I was really excited and apprehensive about what it was to bring. Like, you know, you would fantasize, you watch all these things on TV and you fantasize like, oh, doing lovey-dovey things together and whatnot, being on the sofa, like just doing like bare shit together, doing something, sharing this bathroom with someone, cooking in the kitchen with someone. So I had time to like mentally prepare myself with living with someone. So he comes and it's nice, but one thing that was quite like, oh my gosh, like my heart was the wardrobe space. Like he didn't come with much, but as the years have gone on, like there is clothes bulging out here, there and everywhere. And I like a bedroom that is very minimalistic, so you just don't see anything. Everything's like behind like a nice white cupboard or something. I like everything. I don't like a scattered bedroom, but my gosh, like 2 people living in one bedroom, you need the closet space because it's just too much. So even though I mentally prepared myself to live together, it was really hard because you had to really also, without losing yourself, understand that even though I'm not like a messy person or a dirty person, don't get me wrong, I'm very well house trained, quote unquote, but I can still tend to leave maybe a shoe in the middle of the floor and know that I'm going to pick up another like later kind of thing. Or for example, it's your space. But now that there's someone else there, you have to consider that person might not like that. And even though, it was my flat, but I cannot live like, oh, it's my flat. It has to be both of us. If someone else is coming to live in this place, it has to be both of us now. Like, you just have to get over it. It is what it is, isn't it? So luckily, like as with your husband, like you kind of know who you like, well, actually you don't, not until you live with someone, but he's neat, he tidies, he cooks, he cleans, he does everything. And also he's socially aware of how he makes other people feel as well. He's socially aware, so if I'm in a bit of a mood or whatnot, like he can pick that up quite quickly, or like he can understand what the feeling is in the air, sort of thing. He's really good at like assessing what the vibe is, sort of thing, which is good, and what helps. So it's been I have to say, like, it's been quite easy to live together. It was, but I do think that you cannot, if you're gonna be living with someone, you've got to, it's either both of yours or there's problems to be honest. Like, I think so. I think if you're both coming into it together, you cannot hold on to the fact like if you're both using the microwave, I can't be like, it's my microwave, it's the house's microwave. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, or the TV kind of thing. Like, you can't be throwing down the line when you have an argument, that was my microwave or whatnot.
Or like, but I bought milk. Shut up.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you bought milk for both of us.
Exactly. Yeah. What's yours is mine, innit? Like, that's how you. I think that's the best way to cope, because from when you're gonna say it's mine, that's when there's problems. And luckily, thank God, there's been no issues on that though. But yeah, it's been a good transition, I have to say. I mean, I've got friends that lived with boyfriends, parents, I don't know about you, but they lived with like, so I've only lived with university people,
or
my parents,
or
brother,
or
and my husband. I've
it.
never lived with a boyfriend. I had boyfriends like during the time I lived in the flat, but he never lived there. And I've got friends that live with boyfriends and whatnot, or have even bought places with someone. And the whole I mean, it's just life, isn't it? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It doesn't matter if you're married or not. But I guess maybe there's a bit more of a commitment when you are married. I don't know. What do you think?
I agree, because there is that, because marriage.
Throat is dry.
Drink. You got some prosecco to wet the throat, or water?
Or I've got the water because Timmy baited me out on the water.
Whose nose is that? Oh, so like marriage is an institution. So when you come into it, there's a lot of respectability, not just between each other, but like in the community that you're around and just society in general. So there's like, even especially as a woman, when you say that you're married, you are, especially in the West African culture, or even British culture, there's a status that comes with it as a woman. So there's a lot of respectability and there's a lot of responsibility, because you can't get out of it easily. It's a process. So when you're in hiccups and you live together and you're fighting, it's not like when your boyfriend and girlfriend are like, all right, let's just break up. Like you're high on emotions. Both of you are high. Yeah, okay, let's break up. Do you know how many times when we were first living together, me and my husband, and I'd be like, all right, then leave. Especially at the beginning stages. Like I remember, oh God, the first how many years? All right, then leave. All right, you got what you wanted, leave. Like that was my thing. That was like my song. Leave, leave, leave. And it's like, come on. Thankfully, I'm with somebody who's maturer than me, and he's like, leave to where?
I remember what I was going to say now.
Go on.
Do you think
you
should live with each other before you get married?
Yes. 100%.
Why?
I think that's just because of my experience. There's a lot of things I think that you should do before you before you get married. I know they don't say it's not like cohabitation. Like if we're looking at like the Christian, it's a sin. But I think
you got to try before you buy.
It's good to. I feel like it's just easier. Like it just makes it go smooth. I just feel like it makes the whole marriage. Okay, I don't know, because I'm only talking from my experience, but I feel like it makes marriage smoother, because by the time you're married, nothing has actually changed. Like when that's how I saw it. Like people are like, how do you feel like what now that you're married? I'm like, we've been living together, so nothing has actually changed. It's the only thing that has changed is the way people see us, because we see each other within our relationship. If we were fighting and always arguing before we got married, when we get married, it will still be the same. But if we were in one and unison before we got married, when we get married, it will still be the same. You know how people say it's only a piece of paper, it's only a ring. It's very true. It's only a piece of paper, it's only a ring, but it's a contract. Yeah. When you get married, you're signing a contract. But so when you sign that contract, there's a lot of respectability in the community. So people see you differently. But when you live together, when you get married, nothing changes. It's like, okay, let's carry on.
Timmy, do you think you would like to live with your future partner before you get married? Or are you happy to go from your mum's straight into marriage?
I want to live by myself for a bit. Yeah. Definitely. I don't know. I've never really thought about that. I don't think I'll be too fast. I think I'll get a shock of my life if I go straight into it after marriage. I know that for sure, but I don't think I'll be too fast.
But living by yourself.
I need to definitely live by myself at one point before anything. Otherwise, I might go crazy. Like, no, I need to.
I hear you. I mean, I know quite a lot of couples that are not married, and they might as well be, because they've got mortgages together. Some of them have a child together, or don't, or are planning. Like they've got everything that a marriage has their parents are close. So their two families are tied in together and are close. And they are great together, but they just don't have the piece of paper. So I do question, does the paper really matter, you know? Because they are just as happy as someone else that is married. But I will say that being married, if I wasn't if I was with someone that I wasn't married to, then there's not any real willpower to work on the relationship as much as a marriage.
I agree.
Because there's less to lose. You can just walk away from it quite easy.
Yeah.
No, easier.
Yeah.
It all still hurts.
It all still hurts, but as I said, because a marriage is essentially, it's a contract, it's not easy to walk away from. That's why it's like, oh, we have to divide our property. We have to divide everything because it's a contract, and you start fighting over what's yours, what's not yours, and blah, blah, blah. If you can't just break up, whereas if it's just boyfriend and girlfriend or cohabiting, you can just walk out. It's not a requirement of you to owe the other person anything. If you have a child together, then thankfully there is a law that there's a requirement of the child.
Yeah.
But even that, I don't know how easy and straightforward that is. Grateful that I was able to live by myself first, because there's a lot of I didn't even know that I was finding myself. Maybe I wasn't, because yes, I lived by myself, but yes, I did have relationships. Like you said, I did have relationships. I did have boyfriends when I was living by myself, but they never lived with me. They might spend the night, but then you gonna go home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Everyone's gonna go home. I can't imagine having just moved from my mother's house to my husband's house, because I haven't even found myself.
But you know, that is...
a lot of people do it.
Yeah, that is a common experience. Like, I know more people that have moved from mum's house to with their partner or their partner's house.
I want people to comment if you're watching on YouTube, you can leave comments about your experience, and because I feel like we have a similar experience, so it's really hard to get two dynamics. Or you can also send comments in on the the Instagram page, or DM us some of your experiences. Maybe it's a topic that we might come back to and address, because I've
got a friend now that's she's single, but she's looking for, so she lived on her own for about 4 years, so this was even before I moved out, and then she's moved into a house share with her and a friend, and now she's looking for something on her own again, which is great. Like, we're going through this whole 2021, looking for somewhere really nice for her. She's saving up for an actual place to buy, but in the meantime, she's just gonna be renting because her parents live too far for her to live anyway. But you know, she is very, very independent, and she's got that independence of her, so she can cope with living on her own. Not everybody likes their own company, for one, and can deal with living on their own. They need to be around people. I've got also friends that won't move from the same area that their family live in. Like, they want to just stay in the same area, which is cool. Like, I mean, I would have loved to stay in the same area that my mum lives in now, but at the same time, my gran moved here, my aunties lived there, everyone moved in different places in southwest London, so not everyone's in the same area. So I have to now think of myself independently, or me and my husband, of where we're gonna live. But I mean, your experiences, you're lucky because you live amongst the same area as your brothers and sisters, as your granddad, your gran lives not too far, you know.
I am definitely spoiled because I have been fortunate to create foundation was here already, and then I was able to create my own foundation here as well, and get my own property here. So it's been, I definitely feel fortunate in that, but then also it's made me very I'm not open to change. Like I am like the thought, like I can imagine like very soon I may have to move out of the area that I live in. I may have to move out of London even. And that makes my heart beat.
Yeah,
because
it's scary.
I lived out of London when I was at uni, but that's different.
Yeah.
Like that makes my heart beat. And like I bring up this topic, I even want Timmy to talk on it actually, is that like my dream, and that sounds stupid, my dream is to like, if money wasn't an option, is to buy a castle or a mansion and live with my siblings. And I know it sounds, my sister is disgusted. Timmy is disgusted. Timmy is this. Yeah, you can live by yourself, but like for me, like if money wasn't an issue, I want like a castle or a mansion whereby my family live on the east wing. Your family live on the north wing. Your family live on the south wing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like we're all in one hub, because at the end of the day, we're all eating the same food.
Yeah.
We're all like shopping. I feel like in my head, like cleaning will be easier, shopping will be easier.
I would want to live on the same street as everyone, but I don't know if I would want to live in the same building.
No,
as everyone,
okay.
you know?
No. I need to build this dream with you. I need to. No. Look, no. What I'm saying is like the castle or the mansion is the hub.
Yeah.
Everybody can have their own. You can have your London flat if you want to. Yeah, but like imagine, like you can have like okay. Yeah, like the. No, and the thing is, the family home, I'm the base. Like that's where I am. I'm always gonna be there. So like, you'll always have a key to my house because my house is your house. Yeah. But at the same time, I might be stabbing myself in the foot, because it'd be like the meat pie that I've saved for myself.
It's gonna be eaten. Someone's gonna come over in the middle of the night and eat that last piece of cake that you've been saving
for myself,
for that Netflix and chill for yourself.
Right. But like, I'm like, no, that's all part of family life. Like I want that. Really, and like in my head, I'm like, if it's the mansion or the castle, like we love watching movies, you know, we love our movie nights. Like we got the cinema room, we've got the gym, we've got the game room, we've got the massive kitchen. Yeah, the massive kitchen.
Yeah.
Look, we have bare fridges and chest freezers, and you're on the east wing, I'm on the north wing. Like there's so much space that you can have your family, and like just like literally how the royal family have it set up. Do you know what I mean? Like that's my dream. Yeah. So that I've always got. I think that's just because I've been spoilt with my family network being so close. So like it's like 5 minutes down the road, I could get on a bike and get to grandma's house. I've like granddad is, do you know what I mean? Like, so everybody's been really close. So I'm like, gosh, now in the very near future, I might have to leave all of this. And I'm like, how can I keep this if I can bring everybody with me? So those are the things that like I'm a little bit anxious with that. Like I know I haven't even thought of my husband in this, because I know he would not want to live with my family. I like just like they probably like don't want to live with me. They're like, no, I want my space. Like I don't want to live with your family. He probably wants to live by himself. Like, come on, I've had enough of them. But that's, to me, that's like a big, that's a dream.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely all for that dream, but maybe not my siblings. I love you lot to bits. Not my siblings.
You're rude.
But like my mom, like I would, or like parents. So some people are quite fine with, you know, their parents sort of being on the road, or they've probably still got their mum and dad together, so they've got each other. But when it's like a single parent, like I really want to, like, for my mum to come and live with me, like especially in her like later years. I just want to look after her, and maybe that won't be ideal for like husbands and stuff, but it might be ideal for like having another pair of hands. Mums like to cook, which would be a bonus. Yeah,
and your mum can throw it down.
Yeah, she can throw it down, and it'll be like, if my lifestyle changes and I start a family, that will be an extra pair of hands. So that's what I would like, but it's hard, like especially living in London, and unless you're on the council,
Yeah.
It's hard to just pick up and buy wherever you want in London. You know, it's not possible with people's budgets and whatnot, or what you want. Like for what I want, I have to look further outside of London, so it means that I will be further away from my family. But the good thing is that people drive. You know, like I'll be at home much more than I was before, due to like the pandemic, what the pandemic has done for the world.
Oh, can I ask you something? Just on a...
I was going off topic there.
no, I just want to ask, like, do you think it's or what do you think it's more beneficial to own your property or to have a social housing? Like what? Because we're on this like social media, like, oh, I got my own, like, but what really? What, like, is it that benefit? Like, what is the benefit of it? Do you think it's more beneficial to have money to buy your own, or
that
to
is
just
a really hard
like
one.
what do you think?
Do you know what? I can only speak for my own. This is my own personal bias of this. This is my own opinion. Nobody else's. But if I had gotten a place from the council, I would have been happy with that. Like, I would feel no way of having to, I have to get, because at the end of the day, if you have a mortgage, your property is owned by the bank. Like, you have the bank is giving you a substantial amount of money to loan you to live in this household. So until you pay off your mortgage, it really is owned by the bank. As the basis of having a mortgage. And you know what I mean, it's a nice to have. Like, if you are fortunate to be in that position to own your own property, then that is amazing, especially in this day and age, and especially if you've not come from old money, if you've not come from a family that has passed down properties for you or assets. Like, I have not been in that situation. I've been gifted enough money to get a flat of my own, but apart from that, it's not like I had a property that was inherited to me or anything. Like, I've worked hard on my own. But I personally don't think... I think if you can get on the ladder, that's a nice to have. That's a really good thing. And you can work towards having your own investment. And once later in years you're able to pay that off, then that is yours. No one can take that away from you. That is amazing. But equally, if you can get social housing, then go for it. I mean, that's what social housing is there for. It's there to help people out in when they need to be honest. And I personally feel that this is my own opinion, there should be more social housing for people that are working, you know, that cannot afford to get their own place. They can't go on the council list because they're not of priority people, but they earn a good wage, they pay their bills, they're in good credit, but they need a place to stay in London. Like, why can't this social housing accommodate that group of
there's
people?
no one for the middle belt. There's no one for that middle belt, because like what I experienced, so like my story, if people don't know, is that like how I got into the property ladder is that I bought my council property, and I probably wouldn't have ever been able to afford it in the location that it is had it not been a council property, because of the entire, like, the things that come with it in terms of certain discounts or whatever. But where am I going with this? I've even lost my train of thought. What did you say just now?
So there should be like housing for like social housing.
So what I found is that, like, in my head I thought that when I own somewhere, when I have an asset, I felt that, like, because of the way it's sold to you, I thought that I would be rich. And I was like, shit, I'm still as broke as I was before.
Yeah, man. Oh my god.
If not even more so.
Yeah.
Like, I'm even more broke because, like, the responsibilities are more and there's no disposable income.
Yeah.
There's literally no... So I'm like, they need... Exactly what you said, like people that can't necessarily afford to get on the ladder, but they're not necessarily entitled to the social housing because they're not on the... Like, just that middle belt of, like, you're you're just in between. Like, I just need a little bit of help.
Yeah.
Like, there needs to be something for that bracket.
Yeah, I mean, there's our schemes. So there's the share to buy. There's shared ownership, which I had done. I've done shared ownership. There's the help to buy scheme. So there are maybe avenues out there which are pluses and negatives. Like, people, you need to do your research on them. But it benefited me. I'm able to look to buy another place and whatnot. But you have to just do your research and make sure that it benefits you. But I agree, like, there's no like middle ground for people that really do just earn a decent living and just don't want to be in their parents' house. Like, they're old enough. Like, people in their 30s are still at home.
Yeah. And like, 40s crazy. Even. Like, it's really, really, it's a I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The housing situation is...
But, like, I genuinely feel like it's not by force to get a mortgage.
I think it's following clout following.
It is, because especially social media has made it such a thing. Like, it's not by force. It's seriously not. If you are comfortable and you're still... It's not by force. Sometimes maybe your lifestyle doesn't... It's not recommended that you have a mortgage because of the type of lifestyle you have. Maybe it's more beneficial that you are living, like, renting, so that it's easier for you to just move on and move up or move on. Like, it's just like the way it's sold. And obviously, I know we've kind of drifted off the subject, but because there's a lot of like content creators that, like, I got a mortgage at 21, I got a mortgage at 19, and I'm like, oh my gosh, please, can I just get a minute to breathe, because you lot are giving me anxiety.
Yeah, it does give you anxiety. It makes you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually so ridiculous.
Yeah, like, it's so much, like, it's so, like, I don't like, I understand. I don't know. And, like, like, somebody was saying to me that, you know what, like, it would be nice to say, to have these assets so you could pass it on to your children, to have something to give to your children. And I said, you know what is more important than that is knowledge. Because imagine you have these assets and you pass it on, like, because there are stories of people that, like, they inherited something from their parents, and by the time they died and they had children, they had nothing to give to their kids. That means they didn't learn anything.
What do you think is better, to be inherited money or to be inherited assets, like a property? Or a bulk of money? What do you think? What do you think, Timmy?
Tap the things to me.
I don't know. Because what's the assets? That a house, a property.
Yeah.
Because it's quite difficult to take on a property. I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm thinking money. I don't know why. My gut is just telling me money. This is not on any knowledge of the topic, but my gut is just telling me money, because I feel like I could do something, put into something that,
But in the wrong hands, it could be squandered. But then so could the house, to be honest. Do you know what I mean?
But I suppose the money is, like, it's more like, it's easy access.
Yeah. And cash is king, isn't it? Like, you can do something with it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But with a property, it can go up, and the value on it could change along the way.
Like, our neighbor, I think she inherited something from when her dad died, and she started a business with that money. Do you know what I mean? So, like, she's done something, like, that's really sensible.
Yeah. That is really, really sensible.
Yeah, she started a business.
That is the best thing to do.
And it's,
that's a
like, it's her, like, it seems like it's her dream, and it seems to be doing, like, she's on social media. I don't want to name her up because, like, I don't want to bait myself up, because if I name her out, like, she's quite popular. She does have a following. Yeah. Like, at least her business does have a following on social media. And I don't want to bait her out. Otherwise, I'd be baiting myself up. Eavesdrop.